it is different to the other slams. I mean, I guess it's always been that way. I don't really know whether I like it or not. But yeah, I mean, it was good to get off quickly.
Because it obviously means that you've got to play to win the title in 7 in 12 days.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Well, it's a lot easier to play 7 matches in 14 days. Anyone would tell you that. But it's just different here with the Saturday, Sunday semi and final. It's tricky for all of the players, but it's always been that way, so not a problem.
Congratulations, Andy. How do you feel to have your first round match under your belt?
Yeah, it was good. You know, it wasn't necessarily the best tennis, but tricky conditions out there. It was very windy on the court. The guy I've never played against on the tour. Haven't really seen much of him play, so it took a little time to get used to his game. But I did enough to win in straight sets, and that was the most important thing.
Well, is it just about sort of getting off court as quickly as possible when it's that hot out there, just using as much energy as possible?
Well, I mean, you'd rather win as quickly as possible in any condition, rather, you know, whether it's cold or hot in the slams. But the only important thing is to win the match. If it's in 5 sets, you know, it's not ideal, but just want to try and win.
People have been falling over, and Ljubicic has been complaining about, you know, how difficult it is. Obviously, since a couple of weeks ago, was hotter than that, is it?
No, similar.
Is this tougher here than Australia because it's walking?
Honestly, I didn't find it that bad on centre today. It was hot, but the wind, it does get a lot breezier on that court than on the outside courts. When I warmed up for my match this morning, it felt a lot hotter than when I was out there. And yeah, it's difficult conditions, definitely, but I don't know. I don't know. Australia's very tough as well when you play right in the middle of the day in Australia. I've played quite a few matches on the centre court there, and that's really brutal. There's not a whole lot of breeze there normally either, so I don't know what I prefer.
You obviously, you know, this is the benefit of the hard Miami training coming out here. Can you just talk me through what precautions and preliminaries you do to deal with the obviously taking a lot of fluids?
Yeah, the night before as well. Try and drink a lot, eat as much good stuff as you can, and then I use an ice towel from pretty much the first changeover. I wore a hat today. I haven't hardly worn a hat for the last 4 or 5 years. And yeah, just, you know, the only things you can do is put a lot of sunblock on and train hard. Is probably the biggest thing you can do to help yourself in these conditions.
Is that an issue? Because if you put a lot of that stuff on and then you sweat, you become a bit of a mess, don't you?
A mess?
Well, you know, it's the sweat coming through the sunblock and everything. From my experiences on holiday.
If you put it on, I'd put it on like 45-50 minutes before I go out there. That's what, if you put it on right beforehand, it's not great. It gets in your eyes and stuff. But I use the rest of the sweatbands too, so you know that normally stops it from coming down into my hand.
Andy, what do you know of Dustin Brown? Have you seen much of him?
Not really, but I mean I've heard about him. But he's got a big game, serving volleys a lot. And yeah, it's very different to a lot of the players on the tour. He's a good athlete, but yeah, I haven't seen him play, so another unknown opponent really.
Andy, how would you describe what this hard-court season did for your level of confidence entering this tournament?
Well, it obviously helped in terms of, you know, match fitness was key because of the, you know, the tough conditions. That's important to have, you know, played matches in it. But yeah, I mean, I hadn't been that consistent. Well, I played badly after Australia, and then Wimbledon was really gave me the confidence again. I wanted to do well there, you know, and then I came over and practiced hard, and obviously I've had a good run in the tournaments, which definitely helps.